The Federal Executive Council has approved the sum of 6.071 trillion naira for a 5-year strategic health plan aimed at reducing maternal, newborn and infant mortality rates by 31%. Briefing State House correspondent after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja, Minister of Health Professor Isaac Adewale said in total, this new plan has 15 systemic areas, 48 strategic objectives, and 282 interventions that will help Nigeria to really improve the healthcare delivery to Nigerians.
To validate and adopt the plan and then move on to Kano for implementation. The entire project, over 5 years, will cost us 6.071 trillion naira. And we believe that if this funding is done, if the plans are implemented faithfully, we will achieve a 31% reduction in maternal mortality. That is the number of women who die when they go through pregnancy and deliver. We will achieve a 3% reduction in neonatal mortality in Nigeria, and we will achieve an under 5 mortality reduction of 29%. We are quite confident that this plan will usher Nigeria into a new era, and Council, in its wisdom, approve this plan for implementation. So the next thing now will be to ask the states to commence implementation. Federal will comment, and then we'll also go to NEC and Governors Forum to secure buy-in of the governors so that this can be faithfully implemented.
The Federal Executive Council also approved 78 million naira for design, finance and operation of 750 kilowatt solar power generation facility for the Power Ministry and augmentation, reconstruction and design of some road projects across the country, as made known by Minister of State for Power, Mustapha Sheori.
Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, we presented 4 memos today to Council, and Council graciously approved all 4 memos. 3 of the memos is for road construction, augmentation, and bridge. Then 1 is for installation of a solar facility in the Power Ministry. One of the roads is Abuja-Abaji Lokoja Road, Section 1, which started at the airport here in Abuja, going through Gwagwalada up to Shede Village. And it was first awarded in the year 2006. When it was awarded at the cost of 11 billion. Then in 2011, it was reviewed to 28 billion. And now this is an augmentation for another 1.097 billion for the completion of the road project. The second memo is for the award of contract to design, finance, and build and operate a 750 kilowatt hour daytime and 75 kilowatt hour nighttime solar power generation facility at a commercial operation cost with by Prozap Energy Service Limited. What we intend to achieve is, first, this is a pilot project. By this memo, the company will use the roof in the Power Ministry and the roof of the parking facility in the ministry to generate power to the ministry. If it succeeds, it comes in tandem with the ministry's policy of diversification in the power sector. We don't have to rely on the national grid. That means public offices, police stations, hospitals, schools in remote places, etc., will go on solar, and that will reduce the the concentration on the national grid.
Vice President Yemi Oshibajo presided over this week's Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja. I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television.
Internet users in Nigeria increased marginally to 103.6 million in July after suffering a decline in June. According to the Nigerian Communications Commission in its monthly internet subscribers data for July, posted on its website, overall internet users increased to 103,671,778 in July from 102,805,122 in June, signifying an increase of 866,656. The data showed Airtel, MTN, and Globacom gained more internet subscribers during the month under review, while Nine Mobile was biggest loser. According to the data, Globacom gained the most with 574,822 new internet users, increasing its subscription in July to 24,146,075 from 26,571,254 in June. MTN gained 134,171 new users in the month under review, increasing its subscription to 39,071,670 in July as against 38,937,473 in June, while Airtel gained 375,754 new internet users in July, totaling 27,086,773 as against 26,711,049 in June. The data also showed that Nine Mobile lost 218,086 internet users in July, decreasing its subscription to 10,367,260 as against 10,585,346 recorded in June.
The Makurdi High Court presided over Justice Teresa Ogochi dismissed the preliminary objection raised by the impeached Speaker of Benue State House of Assembly, Tankebe Yangi, instigating the jurisdiction of the court to support the suit, stopping him and two other former principal officials of the House from displaying themselves as leaders of the House. The recent Speaker, Titus Uba, and 21 other People's Democratic Party (PDP) lawmakers in the 30 members of the House are of the opinion that the court barred Yangi and two others from assuming their former status after their impeachment in July. Meanwhile, at the commencement of the hearing of the matter last month, counsel to the Trump Maman Asuma brought before the court a motion of preliminary objection instigating that jurisdiction of the court to support the matter on ground as the suit is connected to the federal government agencies. In a ruling that lasted for over 2 hours, Justice Ugochi held that the mere mention of the Nigerian police and other federal government agencies did rob the court of her jurisdiction, maintaining that the reliefs sought against government agencies were auxiliary. The justice further says, on the second ground of the preliminary objection is a reasonable course of action to warrant the said suit, consequently dismiss the preliminary objection in whole. The court thereafter fixed September 11 for ruling of an interlocutory injunction moved by the Respondent's counsel Honorable Sebastian in the same suit.
Young African Leaders Initiative YALI has charged Nigerian youth and public office holders in the country to be transparent and accountable for their dealings and for their actions. National Coordinator YALI Network, Ovo Otahiro, gave the charge at a summit tagged Accountability and Transparency Summit in Abuja. He said young Nigerians from the 36 states are in the summit to proffer solutions to the country's social, economic, and political challenges which she has been facing over the years.
The summit is all about getting young people involved in governance. Research has shown that when government and institutions are not transparent and accountable, corruption increases. And corruption thrives when there's secrecy in the process of governance. So as members of the YALI network, we're saying that we're tired of the way things are in Nigeria. And we don't want to sit back and say we're tired. We want to proffer solutions. So in the past few weeks, young members of the network have been analyzing the problems of this country from state to state. And we have converged today to proffer the solutions. So we're not coming to say government will know better than you know. We have the responsibility as citizens to tell government, these are the challenges we recognize. This is what we are proposing as the solution to solve these problems. So it is a research-based work driven by young people. We have to make this country work. It's our responsibility to young people to do this.
One thing I see this program changing the narrative in our country is the fact that for instance, I'm a delegate from Adamawa State, and I have a proposed plan on how to enhance transparency and accountability at the state level. So this plan is not just a narrative from copied from wherever, the internet or so, but then these are things that are coming from the community.
Each of the states' representatives are coming here and going back to their communities to make sure that their communities are well developed. We want the government to be more accountable, and with this, we'll have better development and better country.
But I really look forward to working with each and every one of you and hope to visit your various states throughout my tenure here in Nigeria. As many of you know, Nigeria is the primary strategic partner of the United States on the African continent. As such, the development of your country is of great interest to my government.
The group, while calling on all institutions of government to be transparent in all their dealings, also urged political parties fielding candidates in the forthcoming election to be open to its aspirants, especially young Nigerians.
We want to encourage the government to be transparent in the election process. If we are going to maintain a good democracy in Nigeria, the electoral process must be transparent. And we'll call on the political parties, let them be transparent even from the primaries down to the election proper. And to the government, in the time in post-election litigations, we are saying that there should be transparency in this process. If people have come to challenge an election result, let that process be transparent. Government and individuals should be transparent and accountable to the people. That is what we are calling for.
He called on young Nigerians not to get themselves involved in any form of violence as the country prepares for its general election come 2019.
Our message to the youth as members of YALI Network is this: every youth of this country, take this seriously. There should be no violence. Irrespective of the person who approaches you with money, do not give in to violence. Never allow your votes to be bought. Because the moment we collect money for our vote, we have mortgaged our future for 4 years. And when we do that, our nation is on the brink of destruction. Our democracy is threatened.
YALI is an initiative of the United States government, which have its members in the civil society organizations, civil servants, and students who devote their time and resources to create impact in the local communities across the 36 states of the Federation. In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.